dark. What is it about this blackness that makes us so afraid? We seem to be affected by it from birth. Mom and Dad bought us nightlights to help us combat it, and we learned to switch off lamps and jump into our beds as quickly as possible to be safe from it. Almost everyone watching this video would choose to turn on a light instead of walking down a dark hallway, even in their own house. We all share it, and it unites us. But again, why? Science tells us that it is an evolutionary trait developed well before technology. We adapted it because it kept us alive. Fear of the dark means fear of the unknown. And at night, predators are most active, and we haven't always been top of the food chain. Our vision is limited at night, so we were easy prey in the darkness. And even when there weren't any real monsters to be afraid of, well, mankind has a knack for creating its own problems. The imagination is a powerful tool for both the good and the bad. We began to create mythical monsters and boogeymen to inhabit our fears, then pass these down generation to generation through stories and folklore. If fear of the dark was an evolutionary trait because we didn't have the technology to create light in efficient abundance, then it makes no sense as to why it still exists all these centuries later. But it is, and it's just as powerful now as it was all those years ago. This means the reason has changed along with the evolution of our species and cultures. While it is still a survival instinct in some situations, it has morphed into a debilitating reaction for many. Michael Jordan said that fear is an illusion, and I think his point is valid. If fear doesn't keep you alive, then it is most likely holding you back. Being afraid of the dark would make sense if you live in an African village and you sleepwalk. But if you live in downtown New York City, fear of the dark is unfounded. Now, I'm not saying there aren't things to be afraid of in NYC, but the dark isn't one of them. Criminals will attack you in broad daylight, so the darkness shouldn't be at the top of your worries. It comes down to our imagination and how powerful it is and how much we listen to it. I'm a grown man who has small children. I am brave for them and do whatever is necessary to show them things are safe, but that doesn't mean I don't have those thoughts that take me to those fears. It's in me, it's in all of us, even if only for a second or two. You don't believe me? Put yourself in a situation and see if you get goose flesh. Think about an old abandoned house or street and place yourself there. Enter the darkness with very little or no light and just sit there. Results may vary, but most of you will think twice once those first few sounds etch out into the blackness and you don't know what they are. Unfounded or not, fear of the dark is there, and it seems like it's here to stay. Well, it's Friday the 13th and yet another marker for superstition and needless fears. I wonder why Friday the 13th is such a big deal. Hey, that sounds like a great video, right? Bundle up, Internet. It's a cold and spooky one out there. Happy Friday the 13th, and we'll see you next time.